negotiation. It is the responsibility of every American to take steps to ensure that the American dream is a reality for the next generation. McCubinn Childcare Centers are aware of the advances other cultures, such as the Japanese, have made with educational approaches, like the Suzuki method of teaching music. Dr. Doman's approaches are used in the Better Babies book, and Maria Montessori's techniques of teaching young children through individual guidance rather than strict control have proven effective for modern early childhood development. McCubinn Childcare takes the essence of all these techniques and works with the school systems our children will graduate to ensure continuity and continued growth. Children's needs will be documented and discussed with the parents. Parental input will be integrated into the specialized programs, allowing the child's positive home environment to be reinforced. McCubinn reaches out and touches little hands to make the world a better place through our children, giving them a strong educational foundation while making childhood the very best it can be. McCubbin's mission statement reflects a total commitment to positive childhood experience. As the motto said, McCubinn is more than a child care center. It is more like a family. There when you need them 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, to provide the most comprehensive, affordable child care in the country, to set the standard for child care as we move into the 21st century. Let's take a look at some of the difficulties facing working parents and the child care industry, difficulties which hamper the growth and development of children in this community.
If you have children in daycare, you know what a catch-22 it can be. Local daycare centers are losing workers because the pay's so low.
And here's the catch. If the pay were higher, many parents couldn't afford it.
They'd have to give up the very jobs that made daycare necessary in the first place.
Mike Binkley joins us with a story of how it's affecting Minnesota workers. Mike?
Hey, you know what? A lot of these people could take their college education and work at Burger King for more money. Now, money is not why they got into this business, but they're now starting to say they can't stay in it without a good raise.
The land of lemonade and lollipops. There's lots of fun and it never stops.
This happy American scene, mom going off to work, a child securely in the arms of a professional, is facing a crisis, and there's only one solution.
I think it's simple. I think it's massive amounts of money.
Are you all done?
The money's not there right now for most daycare teachers. They take home half of what the average Minnesota wage earner can expect. Their average wage is $5.15 an hour with few benefits. Scan the want ads and you find janitorial jobs for $7 an hour, telephone salespeople offered $7 an hour plus commission, newspaper delivery people making up to $10.50 an hour, and nearly half of all child care workers in Minnesota have a 4-year college degree. Janelle Borden provides daycare in her home. She says a problem is that many people still view her work as simply babysitting.
And I firmly believe that what I'm doing is really important. You know, taking care of these children, these are our future. And I think that's really, really important.
But in record numbers, daycare workers both at home and in centers are starting to look for work elsewhere. Mary Myers is still here, but understands the stress.
It's tough to come in and you know you're going to be here 8 to 9 hours a day and you're going to be with kids all the time and you don't have a vacation day in sight.
The turnover rate in this field back in 1977 was just 15%. It's now jumped to 41%. And children are increasingly having to adjust to new faces, investing their trust in people who leave them.
You know, after one or time you say, okay, here's another one. This is a nice lady. I'll really like her. And then it happens again, and then it happens again. And how many times, I don't know, how many times it needs to happen before a child says, I'm not investing anymore.
In fact, a recent study by a national child care organization found that in centers with high turnover, children developed lower language and social skills and spent more time in aimless wandering.
Hi, buddy. Are you ready to come and get some breakfast?
The Smile Daycare Center in Minneapolis is a highly regarded center where turnover has not been a problem. But its director still needs money to pay what she fair wage.
Finding good staff and keeping them is the daycare director's biggest job.
But then the people who pay the most can only afford so much.
If it gets too high, then what's the payoff either way? Does mom stay home or does mom go to work?
Now, if mom doesn't go to work, then taxpayers could chip in with unemployment and welfare. Daycare officials want more federal money now before it reaches that point. That's part of what we'll talk about here tomorrow night.
Mike, I thought Minnesota had some of the best daycare policies in the country.
Well, it really does. It's really considered one of the more progressive states in this field, but officials say it's among the best in a bad situation.
Part 2 tomorrow night.
Right. Thanks. Workers at a Minneapolis child care center voted yesterday to join a union. Glendale Daycare became the third Minnesota center to unionize. It's not a growing trend.
But enough to signal growing dissatisfaction over wages and benefits.
And Mike Binkley is here with the final part of the child care crisis. Mike?
Yeah, last night we talked about the low wages. You know, more and more quality teachers are leaving their daycare centers out of frustration. And children are having a harder time adjusting to constantly changing faces. Tonight, a look at how workers are slowly trying to get the public to notice.
Hide the bucket. Here. Hide this. Oh, look at this!
They're not exactly the type of people you'd call rabble-rousers or troublemakers.
Baby, yeah, it's baby Sarah.
I don't think as a group we're very assertive people. We're nurturers. We nurture the children. We care about children.
And they're predominantly a female workforce, starting to make some noise now about their low wages.
Problems, they drop out of it.
This woman worked up the nerve to attend a union meeting. The District 65 union has organized other child care workers in other states. Now it's telling workers here they're in the same position nurses and teachers were years ago.
It's only when they organized that their professional status came into being and that their money increased. And that's how they changed, economically altered their status.
But at the Clinton preschool in Minneapolis, which did vote in a union, workers had to settle for job security, not a big raise.
No, we got a small raise, but the money isn't there. It isn't there.
It isn't there, partly because parents can only afford so much. Most or all of the parents' salaries would go to daycare if rates went too much higher.
I don't know. It would be a tough decision whether to work or not.
So where else could the money come from for quality daycare? The federal government has been considering more direct subsidies and/or tax credits. Some would like to see an entire new tax created just to benefit children. There's talk of making daycare part of the regular school system. And some employers now chip in for part of the daycare costs.
See, now we've got an $89.90 budget on here also. Mary, could you grab that?
And here's something else that's being tried in the Twin Cities. The McKnight Foundation gave grants for things like computers and marketing plans in 20 different centers. It's a project that challenges centers like Hope Daycare to get organized and find more money for salaries and supplies.
Our records need to be kept accurately, budgets need to be made, business plans need to be followed through on, and projections need to be made, just like any business.
The idea, in part, is to get child care workers to consider themselves serious business people. Then, in turn, they would hope society's attitudes would follow. Money, of course, is the bottom line, and experts say quality will deteriorate until more money is found.
Something that has to happen because this isn't going to go away.
Sure seems like it.
All right.
Jackie, you've been calling in sick an awful lot lately. It's upsetting the workflow of the whole department. Is there anything we can do to help?
I don't know. The truth is my child care center closed down. I mean, my mom and dad have been helping me, but they don't have all the time in the world. I've been looking around. Places are expensive. I can't afford quality child care. What can I do?
Aw, man. I just got my third warning for leaving work during this shift. What the heck am I supposed to do? My wife is at work. The babysitter was leaving. I had to go get the kids and bring them to my mother's. Boss says if it happens again, I go on probation. What am I supposed to do?
Don't feel bad. My wife just had to give up a promotion because we both be working second and third shifts. There's just no decent childcare for people like us.
Do you know I spent 4 hours on the phone the other night, long distance, the night we were held over?
What on earth for? I bet I know. Daycare wouldn't take your toddler overnight, right?
You're exactly right. Do you know my mom and dad had to drive down all the way from the cabin so she'd have a place to stay? Isn't that crazy? Why isn't there child care for a situation like mine?
Happy anniversary, honey. Happy anniversary, honey. It's wonderful that we could leave the baby with McCubinn so that we can have a romantic anniversary celebration.
I can't imagine wrestling with our little bundle of joy and having an evening as romantic as this.
Did you recognize yourself or someone you know in one of the scenes you just witnessed? Or could you write your own, even more frustrating situation about problems with quality, affordable child care? You're not alone. As you saw in the earlier segment from a nationally acclaimed news team, child care is in crisis. If you weren't already convinced, you should now be acutely aware that there really is a child care crisis in our country and in this community. Americans face the immediate and critical need of how to provide quality and affordable child care for our children. McCubinn Child Care Centers have been founded to address the growing concerns we have for the care of our children and the benefits associated with quality, affordable, and flexible child care. Ruby Edens is the founder of McCubinn, and she joins us now to tell you more about how McCubinn came to be and how we can all benefit from this innovative, total approach to child care. Ruby, tell us more about how McCubinn came to be, and welcome.
Thank you. I'd be more than happy to. Being a parent of a developmentally delayed child and a career woman, we know firsthand how difficult it can be finding quality, affordable, and flexible child care. It has been our goal to open a state-of-the-art facility which uses a holistic approach to child care, one that develops every aspect of human potential, the mind, the body, emotional well-being, and self-worth. Yet, at the same time, affording children the pleasures associated with just being a child. Early in 1990, the opportunity presented itself when we started negotiations with the City of St. Paul to deal with the child care dilemma of companies and parents who worked non-traditional shifts. At the same time, the Metropolitan Airport Commission publicly let a request for proposal for a 24-hour, 365-day-a-year child care center to be opened at the airport. So McCubinn was developed to meet those needs. As you have seen, the major problem facing traditional child care centers are employee turnover and financial shortfalls. In order to eliminate this situation at McCubinn, our development team has analyzed the problem and formulated a solution that is cost-effective and for all participating parents and employers. Being a business owner, I'm well aware that employers must see a positive impact on their business as a whole when adding employee benefits. For those employers who have recognized the importance of quality, affordable child care and can afford to assist in that effort, we have customized sponsorship plans. These plans substantially reduce the cost of child care to their employees. For parents who want to have the highest quality child care, we have developed a family membership plan that saves them hundreds of dollars annually based on today's market rate. The McCubinn staff looks forward to the positive impact we're going to have on the children we serve and the community as a whole. At this time, I would like to introduce Corjenna Chung. Corjenna is a registered nurse who will be heading the wellness unit. Corjenna?
As Ruby has just mentioned, that we have a holistic approach to childcare at McCubinn. We're concerned both with their educational and physical well-being. And as a registered nurse at McCubinn, I'm responsible for their physical wellness. And there's a wellness program which includes physical assessment and immunization. And also there's a clinic where I will be working with a pediatrician to take care of the moderate sick children.
Thank you for introducing McCubinn to us. And thank you for the innovative approach to child care. It's a gift to the community at a critical time. Now, let's talk about how parents can enroll their children in McCubinn. The concept is simple. Parents become members. Depending upon the type of membership, the annual membership cost is as low as $1 a day for members whose employer is also a member. Individual memberships are $1.50 a day for one child, $2 a day for 2 children, $2.55 a day for 3 or more children. These membership fees provide the center with basic operating funds, as well as assuring weekly rates well below traditional child care rates for our members. The average child care cost in this market is between $85 and $130 a week, depending on the center and the age and needs of the child. McCubinn rates for individual members are between 20 to 40% below market rate. Membership guarantees those rates for a full 3 years when your employer is a member. You may receive child care for as low as $50 a week. McCubinn also has a wellness center staffed by medical professionals. So if your child has a cold or a low-grade fever, he or she can come to McCubinn and you will both be assured that your child will receive the proper care and attention while you're at work. The cost for wellness care is only an additional 50 cents an hour. Transportation for school-age children to and from their schools for latchkey care is also available. To summarize, you can become an individual member of McCubinn today. You will be assured a space for your child or children in the ultimate child care center. Urge your employer to contact us for more information on membership and scholarship programs designed for corporations. You and your children will benefit even further when your employer becomes a member. We're excited about welcoming you to the McCubinn family. Come stay with us. Coming soon, McCubinn Child Care Centers. Like family, we're there when you need us, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Our approach to child care meets the needs of the children we serve. McCubinn, corporate-sponsored rates as low as $57 a week. Below market rate child care, corporate and individual. Call McCubinn today. Reliable, affordable child care near the airport at McCubinn. Come stay with us.